Alright, hello everyone and welcome to NFL Discussion. I'm your host, NFL enthusiast Doug. In today's episode, I'm going to be discussing Thursday Night Football, Week 13 of the NFL season. So on this edition of Thursday Night Football, the Bills took on the Patriots in AFC East rivalry matchup. Our first game of the season, advantage Buffalo going out of this game. It was competitive, or was close at first I should say, but eventually the Bills would pull away and Patriots unable to make a comeback to win the game. So the Bills now get their first divisional win, but they still got up and coming matchups with the Jets and the Dolphins, so we're interested to see how those matchups goes. They're 0-2 against both of those teams, so one loss to the Jets, one loss to the Dolphins. So they still got their work cut out for them if they want to take the divisional title. And with that, we'll go ahead and get right into the action. Starting with the Bills, Josh Allen completed 22 of 33 passes for 223 yards and 2 touchdowns, adding 8 carries for 20 yards. So the passing yards were the 5th fewest from Allen of the season, while the rushing yards were his 3rd fewest. But really the only thing he needed to do in this game was stay within himself, or play within himself on the road, as Mac Jones failed to threaten the Bills' defense. A reckless second quarter decision after his pass protection broke down did result in a lost fumble, preventing Allen from posting what would have been only his 3rd turnover-free start of the year. While that ended up in the box score, Allen's best throw didn't. It was a 41-yard scrambling sideline touchdown missile to Stephon Diggs that was unfortunately overturned by penalty. He did have another touchdown pass though, where he was fading out of bounds, and before he threw a strike to Gabe Davis that was almost as good as that non-touchdown. Allen will now have 10 days to continue resting his elbow before a tough Week 14 rematch with the Jets, and that's going to be a must-win game for Buffalo to gain further traction in the division. And one takeaway from the Bills in this game is that their running game is evolving as teams are trying to shut down Josh Allen on the ground. So the Bills came into this game with their 3 highest rushing totals coming in the past 3 weeks, and though they did not quite reach the numbers that they have recently against New England, it was still another successful night on the ground for the Bills as they ran for 132 yards on 37 carries, possessing the ball for 38 minutes versus a ball control team. At times early this season, the Bills would come out throwing early and set up the run late. Throwing early to set up the run game late, but in recent outings, they've been more run heavy early as defenses go lighter in nickel and dime. The Patriots seem to gamble that Allen wouldn't take the easy checkdown yards every time, and eventually would get antsy and make a reckless throw. And it almost worked as Allen would throw one up for grabs, but Kyle Duggar couldn't snag it. On a night when Allen is throwing touchdowns while hugging the sideline and throwing lasers in the face of pressure, that 3rd quarter 19-yard pass to Stephon Diggs, simply filthy. So was that route that Diggs ran in the end zone too. The dude is just one of one. There really wasn't much the Patriots could do in this game, and anything about that 15-play, 94-yard drive that lasted 8 minutes and 55 seconds that made the game 24-7, or gave the Bills a 24-7 lead, that was a hammer blow that simply put the game away. As for the Patriots, Mac Jones completed 22 of 36 passes for 195 yards and 1 touchdown. So one of the more bizarre plays of the season, Jones managed a 48-yard forced touchdown on a quick screen to a rookie defensive back, Marcus Jones, who was playing his first ever snap on offense. Beyond that, and Marcus did all the work on that play, Mac was bad as he averaged just 5.4 yards per attempt and displayed some poor ball placement. He got his pass catchers also rocked up a number of hospital-ish balls and would have thrown a pick if not for the NFL's ever-confusing catch rules. As is so often the case, Jones couldn't drive the ball or hit anyone between the numbers. Now his supporting cast isn't great, but he does have enough people to work with, to make plays with, but he never seems to put them in position to do just that. It's not quite Zach Wilson-esque, but it's certainly looking tedious for the second-year starter. A road trip to Arizona is on tap for him and the Patriots next week. So big takeaway for the Patriots, once again, their offense hits the skids. The Thanksgiving loss to Minnesota did have come up a bright side. For 3 quarters anyway, when the Patriots offense actually got the downfield passing game working and hit the 400-yard mark for only the second time this season. But Thursday was a step backwards. If you only saw the box score, you might have thought Jones had a solid night, but stats can often be misdeceiving, often deceiving. 48 yards would come on that screenplay. Several more came with the Patriots down 3 scores, so garbage time, and Jones would get it, and also Jones got away with an interception worthy throw in the second half. Matt Patricia and Mac Jones simply don't look like they're on the same page. Everything looks labored, like the Patriots' final first half possession where they would gain 29 yards on 8 plays and use 2 timeouts to gain 1 yard. It ended that drive on a missed field goal, which pretty much summed up the entire night for the Patriots offensively. It goes without saying, but Mac is everything Josh Allen isn't. Josh Allen can escape a sack, tie a rope to sideline and throw a touchdown. Jones, well, he can escape a sack, but he might end up throwing a potential interception. Now, if Jones had the kind of skill players that Josh Allen had, he might have more of a chance. But with the Patriots' current pass catchers who he could make plays with, they are often they're running some interesting routes, and Jones off script limitations, and then you throw in Mac Jones off script limitations. There doesn't seem to be much room for error against a good team like the Bills. And truth be told, I think one thing the Patriots are lacking on offense is a definitive wide receiver one. It just doesn't seem like they have that guy. Like, you look at the Bills and Stephon Diggs, he is that number 1 guy at wide receiver. No matter what Josh Allen throws in the ball, 9 times out of 10 he is catching that ball. He had a touchdown in this game, almost had a second one, and you just see the way Josh and Stephon, their connection on the field, it's almost automatic. It's like Justin Jefferson too. That number, you think about Justin Jefferson in Minnesota, Devontae Adams with the Raiders. Really, I think that's what makes certain teams good. Now, the Raiders, well, not really a good team, but having a number 1 wide receiver helps. It just, or the Dolphins with Tyreek Hill. I mean, you can look at certain teams and see. But we'll use the Bills since they were in this game, and as I said, having that number 1 guy wide receiver can make a huge difference. And I think if Mac Jones wants to take a step forward, then the Patriots gotta find a number 1 guy for him to throw to. I don't know who that would be. I don't know if there's somebody in free agency next year that the Patriots can go get that could be just that guy. I don't know if there's somebody in the draft that the Patriots could go get, but ultimately, I think for this season, you gotta make do with who you have, and you gotta just find ways to get the ball to your guys, and get them to make some plays. The offense took a step back, and it didn't really look very good in this game. Then again, that Bills secondary, though, they were shutting things down, so maybe you play a different secondary, maybe the results are different. Minnesota has like an average defense, so it's easy to look good against that defense. But the Bills defense, they're a bit of a tougher out. So I guess we'll see. We'll see if the Bills can get that win. They had that win against the Jets, and we'll see what the Patriots look like next week. And with that, we're going to wrap up this episode of NFL Discussion. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to hit that like button down below.